What is up, guys? This is MaxCo4, and today I'll be showcasing the Gates of Hell twin DLCs. So the first part you're going to see is the supporter pack. Now, I highly recommend that you get the supporter pack because it's going to include some awesome things. First things off, it's going to have this art book. Now, this art book is going to show you basically how the devs have been creating and making all these missions. Obviously, you can see it's got different chapters: the origins, definition, style. Chapter 2 is study of World War II, and then moving on and on forth all the way up to 84 pages. Now it has a lot of stuff showing basically how they make all this stuff, how they make models and whatnot. Pretty in-depth stuff. Pretty insane. The level of effort they go through, actually going visiting real tanks and vehicles and whatnot to see things up close, how many models that they've designed, all the stuff that they need. I mean, that they've added just to make everything look a little bit more realistic, and just the amount of detail and amount of research and just how much effort these devs are putting in. So I highly recommend you get this, so you guys can take a look at this and just see like how much effort is going in on their part, and really just support them. So that way you can look at this art book, because this art book is pretty cool, has a lot of cool things. It's a nice little addition. Give them a little bit more will to work, and then get a cool little art book. In addition, you also have, where is it? They also have this nice desktop backgrounds. As you can see, there's quite a bit of them here that you can choose from. There's actually the one that I have set mine to is these triple Nash ones, which is pretty sick in my opinion. We have the Sea Hunter over here. This is also an epic one. Battle of Keratin for all you Band of Brothers fans. This is pretty much right when they start taking the MG fire. Things get pretty spicy, dicey. Nice little KV one. Looks like it might be going across some defensive position. Winter Assault's Americans clearing out a forest. And then, of course, the good old King Tiger with looks like a tiger in the background as well, on the back right, assaulting a position. Overall, very nice pictures, very nicely done. These things are all pretty epic. Got a Sherman mod version, HVSS, pretty epic. In addition, there is a couple little more things that they are working on the supporter pack that I cannot mention, but it looks freaking epic, and they really put a lot of work into this. If you care about this game at all and it's really brought you any fun, I'd highly recommend that you support the devs and get this supporter pack DLC, because it's nice bang for your buck, and it does come with a lot of cool things that you might want to have, like beautiful pictures from the game that have some of your favorite maps and vehicles in it. Alrighty guys, as you can see, this is the new supporter badge you will get for buying the supporter badge that you see in the loading screen. Pretty cool little emblem. Lets you just know that you're special and you support the devs. So it's a nice little thing that you get. Alrighty guys, so here is the 4 vehicles that they have. So the first up here, we have the good old 45mm 21K. Now this will be mounted on one of the other new vehicles. Cool little guns, fast-firing anti-tank weapon for naval vehicles. Then we have the KFZ-70, a German transport truck in 2 of the camouflages. Nice, beautiful little truck that they designed, and definitely cool that they got added to the game because they look very unique and they're cool. One of the new missions as well has them in it. Then we have the Soviet M4A3E4. Now this is a 76 Sherman with a loudspeaker on it. Now, if you don't know if you guys have seen Kelly's Heroes, but it's a hell of a movie and it has something very similar to this. And let me tell you, from playing the mission, it is very similar to it. So it's freaking awesome. Definitely hyped for that mission. You guys will definitely enjoy it. Then last but not least, we have this bad boy. We got the MO4. Now the MO4 is freaking awesome. Looks like it's got a couple depth charges on there. But the big thing is it's got a 45 on the front, 45 on the back, and then 2 Dishkas on the side. This thing is a freaking tank. You also get to use it in one of the missions. It is it's pretty dang impressive. You'll have a blast with using this. Also, I know this is one of the new maps that they added. If you didn't notice, they have fish swimming around here, so that's pretty cool. And it's actually deep enough to put this boat in without it like flipping over, so that is pretty cool. Hope you guys have enjoyed these vehicles. Now we're gonna move on to the intros for the missions.
Let's go, comrades! We need to take that lighthouse and signal a flare. Without it, no reinforcements will come. We won't last long standing in the open like this. Bringing more from the south. Let's leave a few men behind to cover the landing zone. Do not leave our rear uncovered.
We are almost there. The 17th Division HQ should be somewhere nearby. These places are so beautiful, aren't they?
I can't argue with that. It reminds me of my village.
What do you think? Will the 17th Division be glad to see us?
Was ist das?
Soviet flare! My God, it's a trap!
Hey, you! Leave your cars and come over here with your hands up!
What the hell is going on there?
I'll tell you what's going on. Partisans in German uniforms are taking our comrades prisoner.
Diese Verdammten! And I thought that the front line was 20 kilometers from here.
Don't panic. Let's think. I assume you don't want to join the guys with raised hands. First of all, let's keep quiet for some time. The Soviets outnumber us and they have much better equipment. We must find a gap in their defense and use their weapons against them. Once they spot us, the whole village will attack us. Secondly, we have to free our men. We can't let them die here. And another thing. I saw a Soviet officer with a briefcase in this village. I wouldn't mind taking a look at the papers inside. They could explain why Russians control this village.
Well, the weather turned out nice today. Everyone is out and about. Not a single fascist or villager has noticed us coming. Yep, but the Germans are all over the place. Trucks are going in, but not coming out. Something about this stinks. We need to find out what the fascists are hoarding here. The trucks are all going to the center of town. Too many fascists. Looks like one of those trucks broke down up ahead. I say we take a look at their cargo. You have a death wish. The Germans are retreating. We want them gone, but don't have to kill them. They will run away soon enough. What are you playing? My friend, this goes beyond liberating our country from the fascist yoke. The Germans are taking valuables with them. This particular convoy seems heavily protected. Heads up, dead north. Tiger! A bloody tiger! Now then, tell me, comrades, what's on the menu today? How can the glorious Red Army be of assistance? Tigers are on the menu today. Oh man, nobody said anything about them tigers. Don't panic. The tigers are vulnerable in close quarters. We'll outflank them and attack them from behind. Whatever they are safeguarding in this town must be very valuable if tigers are strolling around. All right, let's find out what those fascists have got. My guys here in the back are ready.
Alrighty, guys, next thing we're going to be walking through is the 5 PvP maps that they have added. Alright, so the first one is going to be 2 versus 2 on Globinka. Now, as you can see, this has a nice river going through the middle of the map. And then over to the northwest side, we have a bunch of forest, little farmhouse to fight over on the far northwest side. Then we have some sort of small town you can fight over. And then back in the back lines, you can see it looks like the old castle or something that was built up that has been destroyed since. Then we have a decent sized village to fight over on the eastern side and leading into another village area. So it can be some nice close quarters combat. In addition, you're going to be fighting through forests. So nice, cool, especially game move for domination. All right, moving to the next one. Alrighty, guys. The next 2 versus 2 map is hunting. So this one seems to be fairly open and fairly flat. Looks like we got a small village to fight over in the southern and central parts. And a big one. It kind of reminds me of looks like an extension to farmland. Got a nice little pond there. Nice scenery. They did a really good job in building these maps. We got nice little places that you can hide your tanks if needed. Nice little swampland over here to the west. Very flat map. This would be very good for armor, that's for sure. You have a couple of low ground areas though, so you can get some nice hidden infantry or hidden vehicles. Nice little map though. Alright, this is going to be the last 2 versus 2 map. This is going to be Hutour. So it looks like this one is set somewhat in the snow. Got some nice snow falling. Looks like we got little railroads over to the western side. Little railroad station you fight over, or I guess just the house around it. Looks like we got some sort of compounds around it, so that's a nice little place to fight over. Looks like they're dumping all their minerals over there. That's the western side of the map, pretty open, wood lines. Central looks like you got a little bit of urban warfare. Got a nice little village with some nice buildings in there that you can destroy as the game goes on, but gives you nice little close quarters combat, the initial. And then over here we have, looks like a hill with actual tank position. This could be very good from this side. Moving up here, got a really excellent position to move in. Very nice position for this side. And then up here, looks like in the northeast corner, looks like a destroyed village. Yeah, partially destroyed village. Pretty cool. I like it. Looks like we got a little bit of a pond over here. And looks like they have 3 tank positions over here as well, overlooking this central. Looks like we got a little dueling area, but I think it's best for the south side if we're looking at it. We're being real. They got a nice building here. They got the emplacement on the point. But let's move on to the last 2 points, the last 2 maps. All right, this one's gonna be at 3 versus 3 on German winter. Looks like we got a bit of a blizzard going on here. Pretty cool. I always like the good old snow maps. Looks like in the south is pretty open. Southwest got a couple buildings, mainly a forest. Looks like moving over to the west, we got a little village to fight over with it looks like a creek crossing you have to go across. Some ice forming in there. That looks pretty cool. Nice work by the devs building this map, of course. Little house over here, another crossing for the creek. Looks like this central point, it's got a little bit of high ground, like that. A little bit of high ground over here from both sides. Both approaches have some little low ground you can approach from. Pretty cool. Gives a nice duel that you have to fight over up here and to get to the church. Nice. Nice, I like it. The elevation. Then we have over to the east side, we have, looks like you're going to be fighting over just some small little village. Nice little wood line to flank up from both sides. And you got a little bit of elevation in here to give you some nice flanks, hide your infantry. Overall, nice little winter map. I love seeing winter maps added, and I hope this one gets played quite a bit. Alright, last but not least, we had the 4 versus 4 on Winter Walk. Now, this one looks kind of like Trenches from Hell, but winter version. There's a ton of trenches throughout this map. Got a pretty nice sized village over here on the eastern side that you'll be fighting. Close quarters combat through there with all the trenches on the outside. Some nice placements already pre-built for you. Moving to the center, some more trenches built in here. We have very defensive positions built in with a little bit of low ground in here as well. All throughout this map. Very nice. Very nice map. Gonna be a lot of infantry dying on this map, I can already tell it. Then we got a little bit higher ground with some more trenches up here. Mortar just gotta take it for the high ground. To take this, a lot more open up here. Gonna be a lot more tank friendly on the western side than it is on the eastern side. So a lot of different areas for playstyles, and I do like to see that. It looks like we got some bunkers in here as well. Love to see that. Gotta see the bunkers built in. It's awesome. All right, this is the last map though, 4 versus 4. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe and comment below. It really helps me out. And just make sure you support the devs. Make sure you go to the store link below. Get the supporter pack when it comes out and enjoy the Jubilee missions. And I'll see you guys on the next one.